Hey guys, how you doing today? Beautiful day we're having out here. I'm going to be straight up with you. I'm exhausted. I've definitely been up. I did a 24-hour all-nighter kind of thing. Back to my youthful vigor and my youthful form. I used to do this kind of stuff all the time. Haven't done it in quite some time, and here I am. I got to talk about the Suez Canal, mainly because it's hilarious, right? Mainly because it's hilarious. The Suez Canal has got to be one of the funniest things that's happened in the last couple of years. Like, what's something that's as funny as this? Just like a boat jamming up billions of dollars worth of trade, right? 10% of the world's trade goes through the Suez Canal. If you're unfamiliar with the Suez Canal, it's in Egypt, right? And it basically allows a ship to just cut cut the trip around Africa, right? Instead of going down and all the way around Africa and coming back up and going to Europe, you can just go to Egypt and just go like, spoop, and you just miss Africa completely, right? It's a huge shortcut. And now, of course, boats that are trying to travel to Europe from China, Japan, right? Sort of the Asian countries. They're having to pay extra for fuel, right? It's going to raise the price of these goods. It's going to raise it's going to take more time for these goods to show up. All of these sorts of things, and it is all because someone was driving a boat and they just went oopsie doo, and it like just thunk right into the Suez Canal, and that's the end of it, right? I love it. This is such a human story. It's just literally humans being humans. Uh, we think we have like our big technological control mechanisms and we know what we're doing, and we've got this whole system in place, and we're very serious people that have serious things, and we're the best at what we do, and then just literally. So let's have a little fun with this, because this is a thing that I like to do with these sorts of stories, which is let's play the conspiracy game. Let's have fun at speculating. Yep, I make up songs. You're welcome. Um, the so the country that is going to be most impacted by this is China, right? Like the the trade route is between China and Europe. That's like where the most amount of trade happens. China is like the manufacturing sector for the world. It's where everything is built. It's where everything is made, and then it gets shipped over to Europe and the Americas, right? And so the Suez Canal being out of service really puts a damper on Chinese trade, which isn't that interesting that just when we're in the middle of a Cold War with China, right? Like literally China and the United States got together and and they like chewed out a whole bunch of stuff, and they made a whole bunch of statements, and China really told America that we don't give a crap what you think on the world stage. We certainly don't give a crap what you think about us. Um, like America trying to lay down at the feet of China human rights violations and all that kind of stuff is hilarious, right? Like America is like the last country on earth that should stand up and talk to anyone about human rights violations, like at all. Like their whole country is built on human rights violations. That's how America functions. and uh, and of course, like China is a rising power in the world, and America is very, very concerned about the Chinese economy overtaking the American economy, and it's most concerned about what would happen if enough countries started to trade in a currency other than the American dollar. That's the true collapse of the American economy. Once other world powers begin to cease trading in the American dollar, that's the collapse of the whole system, right? And we're talking about a collapse that's going to make the collapse of the Soviet Union look like child's play, right? Like it's going to make it look like baby talk. Like America is in for like a real ride. And so, of course, America's solution to all of its problems is to go to war, right? If you're one of these people who likes to bounce out of these videos about the 5-minute mark, leave a subscription, leave a like, leave a comment, right? Thanks for coming. Enjoy the rest of your day. Mwah, I love you. So America's solution is to go to war, right? That's what it does. It goes to war. And it's already put sanctions on Chinese individuals in China. So here come the beginning of the sanctions. And Donald Trump already had started like tariffs and like all of it, like a trade war, right? A trade war with China. And it looks like Biden is just going to ramp that up too. And so I've been focused on, like the Uyghur, the Xinjiang region, where the Belt and Road Initiative begins, which is the railway system that China is attempting to connect to Europe through Russia and Asia, and then down into Africa as well. It's an enormous initiative. It's an enormous project that if the Chinese are to complete it and use it peacefully without any interruption, it is going to be a major economic boon for them. And so I've always been focusing on the Xinjiang province because that's where a lot of the terrorist activity is, that the Americans are obviously going to fund and arm terrorist organizations throughout the Xinjiang province in order to disrupt the Belt and Road Initiative, right? Like, that's what they're going to do. And of course, I've been focusing on the South China Sea as well. It's likely that there's going to be some kind of conflagration in the, if America decided to invade the Philippines, let's say, right? If it decided to invade some kind of small, like Indonesia, some kind of smaller power in the South China Sea, it could really disrupt Chinese trade, right? And that would be a big problem. These are the things I've been focusing on. But blocking the Suez Canal would be a stroke of genius, actually. It's like because it's very small, it's very subtle. Like, it's not very small. 10% of the world's trade goes through there. Like, that's significant. It's a significant trade route. And literally blockading it with just like, yeah, just jam a boat in there. Just jam a boat in there. Good, right? Like, it's got a good kind of plausible deniability thing, right? And it does exactly what the Americans want to do, which is mess over China, right? But of course, as I said at the beginning of that talk, China is, this is all just conspiracy theory, right? This is just the conspiracy brain. And it's fun to talk about conspiracies, and it's fun to get into that kind of stuff. But at the end of the day, it's typically the case that chaotic things happen in the world, right? The world itself is full of chaos and nonsense, and will get in your way all the time, do all kinds of funny things, act in unexpected ways, right? And like, humans are not only capable of error, but it's like a miracle that there aren't more boats that get stuck in the Suez Canal, right? It's a miracle that there aren't more disasters and more accidents, right? Like, it's a real testament to, like, humans. Like, we're very dumb, obviously, but when we focus, in, we definitely want to make sure that something happens, right? We can do amazing things. Like, we've put men on the moon, for goodness sakes. But we can't get a boat through the Suez Canal. So I think while it's fun to have the conspiracy brain moment, I think it's probably far more likely that this is just humans doing stupid stuff and being big dummies. Cue somebody in the comments being like, John, those boats are largely automated when they go through there. So for a boat to actually mess up, it would have had to have been programmed to do so. Oh, maybe it was just a glitch in the Matrix, right? You don't know. Let's just say I'm open to all of it. Right? If it ends up being a CIA op where they block the Suez Canal in order to disrupt Chinese trade, I'll be like, oh yeah, cool. Yeah. But I do think you got to chalk this one up just to straight up, humans are dumb, and we do dumb things all the time. Like, this is why humans can't have power, right? This is like the central thesis for so many arguments that are happening in our society, right? It's like the central thesis for like why we shouldn't have guns like automatic rifles and things like this in our society. It's the central thesis for like why we shouldn't have billionaires, right? Like it's the central thesis for like why an individual shouldn't be allowed to drive a tank around. It's because we mess up all the time. We mess up all the time. What we're already doing with these cars all over the place is absurd as it can be, right? It's absolutely bonkers that we're telling people, oh yeah, you can just have like a chassis that you sit in that has an exploding fire inside of it, and you'll drive around surrounded by a whole bunch of other people who are doing the same thing. Try not to die. And many people do. So, like, you see how many car accidents there are. You see how many automobile collisions and things like this that happen. So yeah, it's perfectly believable that there would be some kind of thing that would happen in the Suez Canal right when we're in the middle of a Cold War with China, right when the Americans are building up to attempt to disrupt trade in that region in the first place, right when we're attempting to disrupt the Chinese economy. Oh, isn't that nice? Isn't that nice? The universe has decided. It shall be so. The Suez Canal shall be blocked. And who knows? Maybe the universe is on the side of the Americans, right? That's what the Americans would say, right? That's what the Americans would say. They would absolutely say, yes, God is on our side. He is punishing the Chinese for their nefarious ways by blockading the Suez Canal. I wonder when the last time the Suez Canal was actually blocked, right? Like, that's something worth looking at. When was the last time there was something like this that happened in the Suez Canal? And like, what do you think the circumstances were? Because golly gee, the timing seems pretty, yeah. You ever see like a semi just like turn a corner like right in front of you? It's just like turning a corner, and it's this big semi truck, and it's like you see like the side of the thing, and they're like turning it, and they like have this much clearance, or like a bus, like a city bus, and they've got like this much clearance, and they just like sneak right through. It's a bloody miracle, man. It's a bloody miracle that there isn't more disasters that happen. It really, if you need proof that there is a God, it must be that there aren't more explosions on the streets and in the seas. Okay. All right, guys, this is going to be the end of me. This was a weird one. I just wanted to do it for fun because this story is great. We all need a good laugh every once in a while, and hey, because you know, like, oh, it's going to block trade, and what it really means is that a whole bunch of white people are going to have to wait a little bit longer to get their toys. That's really what it means. So it's not a life or death situation. It's not really a hardship. Like, not really. I'm sure it's a pain in the ass for the people who are going through it. I'm absolutely positive it's a pain in the ass for the people who are actually having to deal with it, and having to actually go around the Horn of Africa, right? Because that's what they're doing. They're just going down around Africa now because they're like, oh, gotta keep going, right? Gotta keep the economy going. Gotta make sure Karen gets her ice cream maker or whatever the heck this thing is. All right, guys, this is the end of this video. If you've made it to this point, you have to subscribe. Those are the rules. I don't write them. I just enforce them. Please like it. Leave a comment. Any little bit helps. I've got a Patreon down below. You throw a buck my way, right? That really helps me out. Helps leftists out. Helps leftist voices out. I'm a swiftly growing channel. And I could really use any support. Or just any laugh that you've got, right? Send me a link to something stupid. I'll watch that. Send me a link to something stupid that's going to make me laugh. Okay, guys. You're all doing great out there. For real. Do not let people gaslight you. You're doing wonderfully. Good luck. We're going to need it.